Do British IVF clinics need to be banned by law from offering IVF to women over 50? Right stuff at 5.tv is the address. If you fancy emailing us your thoughts. 59-year-old Susan Tollefson, a retired special needs teacher from Essex, is waiting to hear if she'll be allowed to try for a test tube baby. She's already had consultations with a Harley Street clinic, despite the fact that she's 9 years past the, well, I suppose you can say recommended upper age limit of 50 that is laid down for wannabe mums. Tollefson already has an 18-month-old daughter by IVF who was conceived in Moscow at a cost of some 15 grand because no British clinic would treat the then 57-year-old. She went on to sell her story to a glossy magazine. The NHS refuses IVF to women over 39, and for one reason, and that is their chances of success are so much lower than they are for younger women, and the health service can't be seen to waste resources. But, of course, it's a different story for private clinics, where the upper age limit of 50, widely mentioned in the press, isn't actually prescribed by the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority. It's just a generally held view, an agreement, a gentleman's agreement, if you like, and one that's held fast for the last 30 years. But times are changing. More and more older women seem to want babies. Do we need laws to stop them, Gail?
I knew you'd ask me first.
Well, you are the woman.
You do that, and then he goes, Gail. Thank you.
I keep joking. I mean, I do think I think they're bonkers. Although I am still trying to persuade my mum, a sprightly 69-year-old, if she wants a baby, because I think we can make a fortune selling our story to the papers.
So cynical. Well, I can only talk for myself. I had my daughter when I was 31, and I think that was old enough for me.
Yeah.
And I find, you know, I struggle, I work, I look after her. And personally, I always worry about, you know, the older you are having children, are you going to be there? Are you going to be able to look after them? I mean, people can live to all sorts of different ages. But also, is it going to open the floodgates for lots of other older women going, well, if she can get it at age 59, I'm 60, can I get... I don't really know. I mean, she obviously desperately wants a kid. She's got one. How many does she need?
Well, I was going to say that must have a bearing on it. If she hadn't had a child at all, would you be more open to the idea than the idea of her increasing a family at this age?
It's down to the individual. She obviously enjoys, you know, what did she work with?
Special needs.
She worked with special needs. She's obviously knows what she's doing, but personally, I think it is too old.
OK. Dave?
I agree. I think it's too old to be having a kid generally. But at the same time...
Do we need a law, though, to stop...
No, exactly. I would be against the law to stop it. I mean, if she's rich enough and is going to spend the money, and if a British clinic said no, she'd go to Moscow and do it anyway, she's already done at 57. So she might as well spend the money in this country as in Russia. Do
British clinics not need to be... I mean, what they do in Russia is their affair. I'm just wondering whether or not... So I like the idea that when it comes to medicine, it's well regulated in this country by and large, although maybe there are as many disadvantages when it comes to modern drugs, for example, and the cost factor, maybe as there are advantages. The idea that IVF clinics start to sort of open the doors to anybody of any age. I mean, if you're going to allow 59, then why not 60? If you're going to allow 60, then why not 65? If you're going to go 65, why not 70? I mean...
But I think that scenario imagines some kind of opening the floodgates as if there are millions of 60-year-old women out there thinking, I want a child. I don't think there are millions. I think she's a really rare example. I mean, it's really odd to get to her age and then suddenly think, do you know what, I would like a child, when maybe you should have addressed that earlier in your life.
Is that relevant, the number of women, or do we just need some kind of regulation? Maybe you're against regulation.
I think if the correct vetting process is in place and the mother wants the child and she can take care of the child and comes from a stable family.
So you have no...
I personally don't. I mean... Is it the perfect scenario? Probably not. But if
there's plenty of other people in imperfect scenarios. Because the thing I always throw out is it's unnatural, you know, that if a woman's body is designed to stop producing or enabling her to have children from, say, mid-40s onwards, mid to late 40s onwards, we're going against law. And then everybody always says, oh, but, you know, we treat cancer, that's going against nature. Yeah.
And if that child is going to enter this world with a loving mother and a loving father, I think we need that.
You're right, though, there is a difference of a sort of 30-year-old woman speaking to a doctor and saying, why am I infertile? Well, the reasons are this, and the other. And a 60-year-old saying, why am I infertile? Because you're 60.
Yeah.
That's
but
the reason.
Don't care, don't be age discriminatory against me, I want a baby!
I'd be shattered, though. I'd be absolutely exhausted if I had a baby at that age. I'm
maybe that's because you haven't got as much energy as Miss Tollefson.
But imagine that she's going to throw a hell of a 13th birthday party.
So, the question is, do private IVF clinics need to be banned by law from treating older women? You can email your thoughts on this to writestuff@5.tv. After the ads, though, it's Philip with the rest of today's paper, including The Scientist calling for a ban on butter. And guess which multi-million selling singer isn't cool enough for a Brit Award? It's not Sir Cliff, it's not Sting, and it's not Mac. I'll give you a clue. Hello, is that Pebbles? All will be revealed after the ads.
According to the Daily Mail, how many bottles of vodka does the average Scot drink each year? 4, 16 or 46? Find out after the ads.